tutorial. Because it's October and Halloween is coming up, I've decided to start work on a very experimental Halloween sweater. Cobweb sweater. So what it is I've done a rough sketch. I hope you can see what I mean by that. So yeah, what it is the chest and the shoulders and the upper back will all be in a cobweb sort of design thing. And how I'm hoping to achieve that is by doing a ribbed collar of about 60 or 70 rows, and then dispersing evenly around that collar will be 18 chains of 12, chain 12, 18 times around the collar, or yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then once I've done that, so it'll be a chain of 12, which means when we attach it here, or when we attach all the chains here, we're going to have to allow between those chains for the increase of 6 rows of double crochet that we would otherwise have done for the sweater. So we would attach it like that and then carry on just as we normally would for a simple sweater design. So it's not so simple. I don't know if this will work. I hope it'll work. Even if it doesn't, I'm still going to post the video because it'll be fun, and I don't want to waste my time really, and yeah, it's all a learning experience, I guess. I don't know. Yes, so to make this sweater, I've decided I want to use this, what is it called? It's called pin. I don't know what the specs are. Can't find any. My goodness. Yeah, okay, yes. So the hook size of 4.5 millimeters. I'm going to be using a 5 millimeter hook. So yeah, this looks like kind of like maybe a 4. I don't know. I don't know. So this is black with silver sparkles running through it, just because I think sometimes you need a bit of tacky sparkliness in your life to lift your spirits. And I don't know whether or not I'm going to do this, but I bought some amethyst coloured sequins to embellish. I'm going to thread them onto the yarn before I start and hopefully embellish the lower portion of the front with sequins. I don't know. I mean, why not? You know. I also bought this. It's like a moon star sort of pendenty thing, which I might sort of hang from the front. I don't know. Maybe like some sort of grimoire spellbook inspired cobweb Halloween sweater. There's a lot in that, but you know, there's a lot to this fabulous month. So yes, that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm actually really excited to do it. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, I'll just have to think about it some more and try again some other time. Okay, yes, let's begin. Alright, for this design, I'm going to use my 5 millimeter hook, and I'm going to start with a slip knot. So just make a slip knot, and let's chain 11. So 1, 2, 3, 10 and 11. Now, skipping the first chain from the hook, so that one just there, we're going to put a single crochet into the next one, into each chain all the way back down to the beginning of the chain. And there's my first row of single crochets. Now, chaining up one, we turn and we put a single crochet through the entirety of that first stitch, and then a single crochet into the back top part of the V. So there's the V on top and the back part is just there, so in through there, and that's into the next 8 stitches. So stitches 2 to 8, and then for the 10th, oh no wait, stitches 2 to 9, sorry. So stitches 2 to 9 are into the back, the top back part of the V of the stitch, and then stitch 10 is through the entirety of the stitch again. So what have we got here? How many have I done? Yeah, we're up to 10, so try not to miss that stitch right at the end just there, and through the entirety of that stitch, just like that. And we have begun the ribbing for the collar. So we just do exactly the same, and I will be doing this for 60 or 70 rows. I'll meet back up with you again when I've finished and let you know. Alright, now that I've finished my 60 rows for the collar, I'm going to join the two ends together. So folding it in half and working straight back into the last stitch. Just going to slip stitch the ends together. So getting in there and then getting into the bottom, into the foundation chain. Just slip stitch like that, and then 2, and all the way till the end. There should be 10 of those. Alright, joined with 10 slip stitches, just like that. Now, this is going to be one of those rare occasions where I snip the yarn, and this won't all just be one continuous flow of a design, because what I'm going to do is tying off that end, and just for the moment, like this, just like that. We're going to attach 18 separate chains of 12 evenly around the collar. So what I was thinking was, because there's 60 stitches and there's going to be 18 chains, and I think that 18 divides evenly into 54. I think my maths is terrible, so excuse me if I'm wrong. But that would mean I'd need to leave 6 stitch spaces on the back, and there'll be a chain for every 3rd stitch after that. So I'm going to go away, I'm going to do that, and then I'll meet back up with you and I'll show you what I've got. I'll try and lay it out on a table somewhere so that we can see what it's going to look like. I'm actually kind of excited. It's very new, very different. Okay. I wanted to show you how I was going to attach those chains that I'm going to make. So I'm making a slip knot, and don't pull it tight just yet. So fine, I'm going to skip the 3 stitches on either side of the join at the back. So 1, 2, 3. And remember, for this it's into the ends of each row. So anyways, 1, 2, 3. So there's the 3rd space. Now I'm pulling that slip knot through there. So, and then we're going to chain 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to snip that off just there and secure it till I need to use it later. Just like that. And then that will be every 3rd stitch around, so yes. I hope this works out. Alright, see you soon. I romanticize just about everything in this life, which means that maths as a concept and a reality, to me, is this divine being that I only really connect with on the most basic level. So as a result of that, I messed up the calculations of the sweater to an extent. Like, I messed them up, but I also didn't mess them up, do you know what I mean? So maths has come along, it's taken my hand and it said, look, no, you're almost there. That's not what's really happening. What's really happening is this. So, yes, that happened. So, it's a division of, there's actually, instead of 18 chains of 12, it's turned into 19 chains of 12, interspersed evenly around the collar. I don't know, this and that. It's going to work out, yes. So, it's a division of, like, 60 minus 3, 57, so divided by 2, which is 19. Therefore, when we get to the allowing for the increase of 6 rows of double crochet, that means that there will be the allowance of 6 stitches between each chain, because 6 times 19 is 95. I'm doing this from memory, I didn't just calculate that. Yes, is 95, and then there will be the allowance at the back, which will be 13. It's in front of me. 13 stitches at the back. And that will just be the gap of, you know, like nothing will be there. But that's okay, because stuff will be everywhere else. It's okay. It's okay. It's coming along. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed at all. It's good. It's very good. Yes. So that's how the calculation is going. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, here we are. Now I'm going to show you what I've got. So this is how it's starting to look. It's a bit like a sort of an octopus at the moment. Yes. But there's 19, as you can see. So between this, now that we're going to start allowing for the increases, and I'm going to attach these. So starting in the middle of the 13, so it's 13, 13, 13, 13. So it's like 6 and 7, yes? Yeah. So starting with a chain of 7, which I'll attach to here, then chain 6 and attach to here, chain 6 attach to here, and so on around till I get back to here, chain 6 and attach it to the original, to the beginning of that chain. And then that's where we're going to start to just crochet normally, like normal people, and do the remaining increases for the sweater. Yes, that's right. And it will basically just go like a simple sweater from there on. Alright, and that's what's going to happen. Yes. Alright, let's get to that. I don't know how I'm going to film this. Alright, so once again the calculations were wrong. It's not 6 times 19, which equals 95. It's 5 times 19, which when I really think about it is very obvious. So anyway, we still want to wind up with 108 stitches. So for the back, where the join is, and on either side of the join, hypothetically, or where the join will be, there's going to be 9 stitches on one side, I think, and 9 stitches on the other side. I've had to do a visual diagram for myself so that I know how many stitches go where and what does what. So from what I'm looking at, it's 9 on one side, 9 on the other side. So what we're going to do now, to start with, we're going to make a slip knot. We're going to chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, our next step is to find the first chain along at the back, so this one just here, and we're going to slip stitch into the end of that. So slip stitching into the end of that, like that. Now, what we do next is we chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then into the next chain along, finding the next chain along, so we pick that up, and we slip stitch into the end of it, making 5. So a slip stitch into the end of every chain on every 5th chain. God, that's a lot of chains. Anyway, okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then finding the next chain along, slip stitch into that, and that is 5. 5. Alright, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Next chain along, trying not to get them twisted, and slip stitch into that, making 5. So do that all the way around. I'll meet back up with you once you get to slip stitching into the last chain of 12. And we will do the last bit together. Alright, now that I've slip stitched into the last chain of 12, and I've counted as I've gone, so I'm up to 100 stitches. Now I'm going to have to put 8 more stitches, or chain 8 more, and attach it to this beginning chain of 9. So, where we go? We're in there. that's the wrong one. Wrong bit. Alright, so chaining 8, chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and picking up the beginning chain of 9, we slip stitch into the beginning, just like that, or as neatly as we can. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so it took a while, but I got there in the end, and now the calculations appear to be right. I don't know. Okay, so I've done that. Now, I'm going to try this on for you and see how it looks. It's going to look a bit ridiculous, but, you know, it's still early, so we don't know really what it's going to look like yet. At least I don't, so... Alright, see you in a second. Alright, so this is the stage that we're at. Really, I think this is just becoming a case of me documenting various stages of what could potentially be a massive disaster. But, you know, who knows? I'm still optimistic. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to see this through to the end because I don't like giving up, and I have a vision, you know. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to carry on, and now we're going to start work. You know, I could have made these longer. Made them a bit longer, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Do you know, there's variations you could do with this. Variations that I think I could do to make it better, but that is for the future. Okay, so now we're going to start work on just turning it, beginning work where we're going to start making it look like a simple sweater, but with this bit. Okay, so that will just be starting work from the back, going around and doing some increases until it reaches comfortably under the arms. If you've watched any of my other tutorials about sweaters, you'll know what's going on from here anyway, or from there anyway. I'm going to shut up and we're going to begin work on that.